coming up and hearing the kind of the techno hop, electro funk stuff that was going on in LA, and then getting into the mixed master spades, the Toddy T's, the King T's, the Ice T's, as you were growing up and hearing this evolution, what did it do to you hearing this change and being there? Did it affect how you thought, how you were writing? Did it affect your mentality at all?
Well, hell yeah. What it did was kind of give me the okay. It gave me the okay to go ahead and express myself because I was kind of torn between my reality and what I fell in love with, you know what I mean? Which was hip hop, which was 1979, you know what I'm saying? My motherfucking rapper's delight, Curtis Blow. I'm on the school bus. I got bused to the valley as a kid by 78. This law had passed about segregation and integrating these schools in South Central. So my whole elementary was bused to a school in the valley. I'm hearing this fucking chicken taste like wood in the breaks all the way to school, Curtis Blow. Fuck. I was like, okay, now I can do this hip hop shit. But by 82, Uncle Jam's Army had became a very impactful tool inside of LA. And I've never seen a mobile DJ unit draw in headliners like LL Cool J and Run-DMC and Houdini and shit like that. And so this is just a party with these three guests coming. It's not a fucking concert. This changed the game for me. Uncle Jam's Army, Battle Cash, rest in peace, Roger Clayton, Cluso, man, all of these dudes, bro. This changed the game for me. Then I get this motherfucker Ice-T to do 6 in the morning. By this time, I'm like, you know what? I think I could do this shit. Because I'm in the hood with it now. I'm in high school with it now. I'm my starter jacket shit, my Kangos, my Gazelles. I ain't got Dickies on no more. I took them off in the early 80s. And the homies like, you got this weird ass New York shit on, folk, nigga. I'm like, nigga, yeah, watch what I do, nigga. I don't even stand out. You don't even know I gang banging with this B-boy shit on. You don't even know I gang bang, And then here it goes. I run into fucking all shit. There's a cassette tape floating around it. C.I.A. stereo crew. She's a skag, my rubber. Like, man, that's a play off of my Adidas. I could write shit like that. So I started writing to other people's music. After that, bro, I said, fuck this. I'm about to start cussing. But the two dudes that made me write and made me fall in love with hip hop is King T. And I told him that Saturday at the Crush Groove Festival. And you always try to fire on me and punch me and push me off. Get the fuck out of here, J-Dee. You always say this shit. I said, man, you're going to accept my compliment one day, motherfucker. I hope it's before you go. Because it was Act the Fool. The Cadillac was fucking Mossberg punk. You know what I'm saying? Next to the brick wall. I said, that's the good. And then DJ Pooh put these motherfucking Johnny Guitar Watson beats up under it. And that was just pure fucking funk. You know what I mean? I fell in love. And the dude that made me record is the D.O.C. I never wore Raider shit. I always wore Kings hats. The D.O.C. He had goatee and shit. My goatee wasn't even touching yet. Fucking D.O.C. D.O.C. and King T. That was it for me.
So break it down, each one of them, what was because they're very different to me in a lot of ways. What did you take from each one of them that was so inspirational?
First with King T, I'll take it back to 1986. Him, Scotty D, they put together a party that was on the east side. It was an 11A East Coast Crip Hood. And we mobbed to the east side. Like, I'm just mobbed to the east side. It's a picnic over there, barbecue over there. And so we were cool with the 11A East Coasters because they were Crips. They was East Coast Block Crips. We had this alliance with them at the time. So it was Roller Coaster, with the Rollers in the Coast Guard. Man, we get over there, King T, tore the fucking backyard up. I'm like, fuck, who's this young nigga right here? With a big ass fucking gold rope on from the SWAT meet, khakis and shit, little golf hat on. I was like, man, who is this little young nigga right here? Oh, he's from Compton. He's from Nutty Block. That's King T. That's DJ Pooh homeboy. That's Scotty D. Keith Cooley them homeboy. Cold Crush Chris. That's his. Chris the D is the DJ. I was like, what? And it was the command, the way he commanded the crowd. And so I started following. Then the album dropped. I was like, this dude is hard as fuck. And he lyrical.
Yeah, very, very lyrical.
Very fucking lyrical. He was saying some prolific shit back then in the 80s. I'm like, man, how did you formulate bars like that? Now, fast forward to D.O.C., you couldn't stop him. He could touch white boys and black dudes at the same time. You know, he said, brothers think I'm dope, some others think I'm bitching. You know, so I was like, oh my God, let me play this again. So the formula, nobody does it better. The Doc and the Doctor, that was it. That was it. We ain't got to go through the rest of the album. Those three motherfuckers right there. And then the grand finale, I come in, man. I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm finna roll with the WA. Eazy was my boy. Eazy was already the homie in Compton. I've been knowing Eazy all my fucking life.
So then how, as all this was going on, what was your interaction with Sir Jinx, with Cube?
Prior to fucking Boyz-N-The coming out, there was very limited interaction. I just knew who O'Shea was. In fact, I told his sister Saturday, Pat, I said, you know you my OG homegirl. She said, motherfucker, I know who I am to you. Check me. She checked me right there. And y'all got the mess dressing room all messy. Y'all got to clean this shit up. I was like, look at Pat. Pat's still the same shit. But I knew his sister long before I knew him. It was the song Boyz-N-The that came out that made me go look for him. Because he said J.Dee was a friend of mine. So I caught him in the car trying to steal an Alpine, and I chased him up the street. The chase me up the street shit was the trigger. Okay, I done broke the cars and stole Alpines, Kenwoods, all kinds of stereos growing up as a kid, but you chased me up the street, you know. So I told my little homie, like, bro, we need to go find us some Ice Cube nigga, man. This nigga talking about he chased me up the street with a deuce, and silly cluck here got, you know, and Cube like, man, I wasn't talking about you, nigga. I was just writing. And I was so juiced up for years, like, man, who are you talking about? And Eazy was like, he was talking about you. Eazy, you know, this nigga was talking about you, J.Dee. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I thought you said you weren't talking about me, Cube. He said, J.Dee, I interviewed Cube on the podcast, Behind the Bars, a few months back. And I said, man, let's, for the record, man, who the fuck was you talking about in Boyz-N-The? He said, I was talking about you, J.Dee. It was a fucking song, okay? I was like, damn, 30-something years later, you come clean, motherfucker. Okay, moving on. I was like, just that easy. 30 years later, you come clean? I mean, that's you this goddamn question for 30 years. Eazy told on you a long time ago. He's like, nigga, he was talking about you, J.Dee. You know, Eazy didn't pull no punches. I swear to God, I miss Eric. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's one dude I never got to meet, unfortunately, that I really wish I could have, but didn't get a chance.
Man.
So then with you not really knowing him till talking to him later in the game, how did your involvement in the Lynch Mob really end up happening then?
Well, 86 was when me and Cube first had that encounter. Pulled up on his street. You know, his street had all my little homies on there. Mine had about 4 or 5 of my big homies on there. So his street was a well-known street. Van Wyck was a block in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And so by 89, he was flying up out of there in Mazda 626 on his way somewhere. And I jammed him up. I'm like, what you doing, bro? You know, we were cool, man. We was cool. Nigga, when you gonna invite us to a concert? He handed me 10 tickets. He said, bring the homies to Anaheim. And that night, Low Profile performed. That's when I started fucking with Aladdin. D.O.C is from the neighborhood, so I've been fucking with him in Crazy Tunes my whole life. Rest in peace, Crazy Tunes. Ice-T performed that night. Rhyme Syndicate, they got out that night. So this was Rhyme Syndicate, D.O.C, NWA, and Low Profile opening up. Wow. This is 89. That was a cold fucking lineup. Right then and there, I said, this is what I'm going to do. 3 fucking months later, there is no NWA. This is the summer going into the fall, and the shit is all in the streets, it's in the air. I'm living in Compton. My father had got murdered in 86, and some bullshit that happened. So I'm just everywhere, all over the place, and I needed to fucking channel this shit. I go get a job. I go get a trade. I go to Tune-Up Masters Trade School, and I go to private security school at the same time because these motherfuckers was giving up financial aid, and I needed the money. I had a daughter in 88. I was trying to do everything legit right now. Long story short, my man Melvin Swint, who was bodyguard for NWA, he rests in peace also, Big Melvin. Melvin gave me a job paying me $25 an hour because I was an armed guard, 1989. I was 21 years old. I didn't have a felony. You know what I'm saying? Was not convicted of any felony. So I go do this job at the Warehouse Records over in the jungles where all the bloods are. $25 an hour, 4 hour
Is that the
job.
one when it was off La Brea?
La Brea and fucking King Boulevard. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there behind the Sizzler, you know what I mean? And that mother, Kenny
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So I'm doing security. I'm standing over here. The motherfucking in-store consists of who? Too Short, Ed Lover, and Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps, and Heavy D and the boys. So I'm a fan of Heavies. And I met Too Short in '85 in Kansas at a skating ring when I went out there for my summer robotics program, fucking at General Motors with my uncle. Bro, I swear to God, shit changed. Cube walks in, crowd goes crazy, makes his way to the back, fucking reach Too Short, reach fucking Heavy D, and then reach Ed Lover and Dre for Yo MTV, and he spins over there, he looks, and he said, J-Dee, what the fuck you doing? I said, nigga, I'm working, nigga. Shit. He showed him my pistol. He said, damn, nigga, you was secure. I thought you was still selling. I said, I ain't sold no dope in like 6 months, bro. I got a little girl out there, man. I got to take care of. I want no dope fiend knocking on the door at 3 in the morning, trying to buy no dope out this apartment. And he's like, man, I respect that, man. You still writing? You still rapping? I said, hell yeah. I got a backpack in the car full of notebooks. He said, Melvin, let me holler at J-Dee for a minute. Cube took me outside to a fucking Suzuki Jeep sidekick, a Suzuki sidekick, played a rough draft of America's Most Wanted, let me know who the Bomb Squad and Eric Sadler was. And he said he needed a hook on it. And he needs something in the breaks. And it's 2 New Yorkers. It's 2 New Yorkers, J-Dee. I need some South Central shit on it. I listened to it. Jinx told Q, put J-Dee on it. Jinx told Q, send that nigga in the studio and just recording for like an hour. Just let him talk. They sat in I sat in the mic booth. They sat at the SSL board and just asked 1,000 questions. Me, him, and Chuck D. That's how you got all of those gaffers. J-Dee's gaffers, like Donald's my spot. Police, eat a dick straight up. All that shit came from that one session, and they just chopped it, edited in. You know, after that day, this is the truth. Before I left Ice Cube at the Sidekick, this nigga wrote me a big ass check. Big ass check for 24, bro. Nigga, budget. Took that motherfucker there and popped it in my boss, my nigga Melvin face. Mel, 24, baby, I'm gone. Fuck this job. It's 400 bloods in here. Them niggas gonna figure me out in a minute. There's 400 bloods in this store. They got pigtails with red bow reds, long sleeve red t-shirts, red shoestrings, red fucking Cortez, beige khakis, gray khakis, black khakis. Nothing in that motherfucker blue. I said, these niggas is gonna figure me out in a minute, and that's gonna be my little crip ass up in here. And Q said, man, go buy you a car, go get you some clothes, and get ready to fly to New York. Motherfucker. Like that nigga, what that genuine nigga say, my whole life has changed. Everything changed overnight.
So when you went in and recorded this stuff that ended up on America's Most Wanted, you said Chuck D was actually there when you were doing it?
If you listen to J-Dee's Gaffer right now, the laughter in the background is Chuck D.
Wow.
What you used to do? Q said, what you used to do? Jack them motherfuckers for them Nissan trucks, right in the drive-through, and Chuck D, oh, that's Chuck D in the background with all that fucking noise. Uncle Chuck. He was fucking tickled. He said, I've never heard anything like this. You took the food, made him leave it in the car, and then made him get out? I said, shit, Chuck, that was hungry. Might as well, I mean, if you're robbing these niggas and they got the food, leave the food in there and get your ass up. He was like, you were really like, he said, man, we got to edit out that other part, the location that you said you were at. Because I had named the actual McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you got to take that out. So it was a whole lot. I mean, they sat there for like an hour and a half, Soren, and just asked question after question. So it didn't just make it to America's Most Wanted. AMW, it went from America's Most Wanted to fucking Kill at Will, and then some of that shit spilled over into Death Certificate.
Right.
I was like, nigga, you got a lot of fucking, shit to put in there. But by that time I was writing, and Dub had let me rap on You Don't Work, You Don't Eat, and I started writing other shit, and Shorty and I decided, hey, let's try to talk T-Bone and do an album. We just started getting real creative after that.
Well, what was the crazy break? Fast forwarding a little bit, just so I don't forget. Didn't you do something on Crazy Break on Any Damn Thing Changed too?
Yeah, you don't work, you don't eat. You
But I'm
don't work,
saying
you
the
don't eat.
the Crazy Break song. It's real short, but didn't you write or do something?
I don't know. I don't know if I got skits on it or not. It
Okay.
might be. Or Coons might have just scratched it in, recorded it and scratched it in. But when they put that project together, and this is the truth, I told Dub this shit Saturday at the forum. Dub brought me a receipt on yellow notebook paper about this big. I whoop is giving J.Dee $500 for his verse, and he is accepting it. So I told him, you know what? Fuck that 500, bro. Go buy me an ounce of weed, bro. You can keep that 500. Thank you for letting me rap. I'm gonna take that ounce of weed and I'm gonna sell that shit and get 800 off of it. So
Did you do that?
I actually bought a zip. I actually bought
Oh,
me a, I did. I said, fuck it. You get, yeah. Guess why not? I'm a hustler. But Dub C is the first person that let me rap on the song. Ice Cube is the first person that ever recorded it.
gotcha.
And that was that shit at Echo Sound. And it was just skits, you know.